Hey, what is up, guys? So we're here with
Oscar Renderos,
and he just got top 35 with Igknights, one of the decks I think has got a lot of potential. So go ahead and show us the deck and then talk a little bit about it. Maybe show us some combos.
Alright, so you guys read my feature match from round 10? I got 2 libraries out in one turn and just went ridiculous. This card is the most ridiculous card in the deck. It literally lets you do whatever you want with the game. And I'm playing 3 Templars, 3 Paladin, 3 Cavalier.
Oh, do you want to turn it around? So they can see the cards. So sometimes people, they go find the picture, it makes it easier. So yeah, thanks. Alright,
Templars,
there we go.
Paladins, Cavaliers.
Okay.
I just want to make sure I have
3 Margrave. The level 5s and level 4s give you like a really big power plays, and the level 6s are the more control plays. These, there you go into specific XYZs. This card is ridiculous. Like, if you're playing a deck that can just fill your extra deck, you need to run this card. It gives you infinite pluses. And then Archfiend, this card is the most balanced card ever. You can either pop a spell or trap or pop a monster. We pendulum back, you can do both. I was playing Galaxy Cyclone, 3 Summoner's Arts, 3 MST, 1 Painful Decision, and 3 Reinforcements of the Army. So this is to maximize my 86 play. It's pretty much I was running 4 Rotas. For trap cards, Vanity's Emptiness, card's ridiculous. And here is Tyrants Throws. This card is what makes this deck really ridiculous. It says tribute 2 normal monsters, except tokens. Neither player can normal or special effect monsters.
And that's forever. It's not a one turn.
It's continuous trap card. So, my first game of today, round 9, I lose the die roll. My opponent says go first. So I draw 3 monsters, which is what you need to first turn throws. I play 2 scales, pop them, search the other scale I need, activate both my pendulum scales, special out the 2 monsters. I set the Tyrant Throws and passed. And then my opponent's standby phase, I activated Tyrant's Throws. And then he just looked at his hand, then just started staring at his deck and picked up his cards and said, let's go to game 2.
Like, pretty good as an auto win, is like that.
Yeah, this card is just, I don't know why, like, this card was made of this concept. It's really insane.
Oh, it's a permanent effect too. Well, I think it's just trying to help maybe normal monsters, but Igknight's all normal is pretty good stuff.
It's just like, this is like we were talking about this deck. It's like a bunch of cards that like weren't good before or aren't that great, like put together to like become amazing. Like,
do you have any like really cool like setups or like?
Okay, yeah.
So you want to show us the extra deck since there's like so many unique cards.
Oh yeah, the
extra deck for sure.
The extra deck has, it's one of each. You don't run any doubles because you don't need the room, and every card is situationally good. Like with Utopia.
Oh, you want to turn around again?
Utopia.
All right.
Everyone laughs when they see this at first.
Wait, Lightning's not out, right? That one that okay.
Yeah, everyone laughs when they see it at first, but against a lot of decks, Utopia it hurts them. Like they're forced to use a card in order to advance in their gameplay, or else they just have to stop and wait it out. Because like there's so many times where I first turn Utopia and my opponents just forced to Raigeki just the Utopia, like just so they can continue on with their turn and make plays. And then on top of that, I also run Utopia Beyond for my level 6s. This card, when it's summoned, it makes all my opponent's monsters 0 attack.
Pretty good effect.
And then on top of that effect, it's 0 attack permanently. On top of that effect, if I have a Utopia in my graveyard, I can attack with this for 3,000 over any monster, activate its other effect during battle phase to detach a material, banish this, and special the Utopia from my graveyard, and attack for another 25.
Oh, so it's effectively...
Yeah, it helps in OTKs.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Then there's number 86.
How many times did you pull up the 4 cards attached to it?
I actually made this with 5 all tournament. I never made it with 4. Making it with 4 is real lackluster unless you know you're gonna win the next turn. Like the best thing I did with this deck is I was playing against Cosmos. My opponent Dark destroyed my library, and they still had a level 4 floating. So I pendulumed out I pendulumed out a field. I forced them to tag their level 4 into a Forerunner. So I passed my turn, and then my opponent just cleared my board, hit me for a lot of damage. Now my next turn, I 86'd with 5 materials, blew up their monsters, and then he couldn't come back for that. There's nothing he could do.
Cosmos has not enough like back row. Majority of the time they play more aggressive.
And then there's Basil tries.
Oh yeah.
I actually use this in my feature match. Like, it has really ridiculous effects. Like, you can make it with 2 or more materials, and it needs fire level 6s, which you run 6 of, and obviously every monster in the deck is searchable.
Yeah, so it's pretty consistent. Pull out whatever you want.
With 3 materials, it gains 200 attack and defense for each material. With 4, it can't be targeted, and with 5, it can't be destroyed by card effects. Now, its activated effect is actually really ridiculous, and I almost won the second game of my feature match with it. Its activated effect is you detach a material to banish one monster in your opponent controls or in their graveyard.
Does that target or no?
I think it does target.
Oh, okay. Just because like things that don't target work pretty well against Cosmos. It does target, okay.
It does target, okay. But it's mostly against to get rid of Necros and just any face down monsters on board. Then there's Kier Gorgon. This card is amazing first turn play. If you have the 4 monsters in hand, you can make him and Tyrants throws. So now your Tyrants throws is protected from MST because you can just redirect it to one of your scales.
Oh, okay.
And just win off the game off that. There's obviously Castel because it's a basic staple with Honor Arc and the Abyss Dweller.
Did you play any BA today?
I actually played 3 BA.
Oh, okay.
I lost to 2 of them because they drew multiple side cards to me drawing none. Oh. And then like the third BA deck I played, I drew 1 side card and won that turn. So I was just like, okay. It made me a little upset because it's why I didn't top 32. But I run a Shark Fortress. This card's really important in a lot of OTKs because you can combo with Excalibur.
Oh, attacking twice for 4,000 seems fair.
Yeah, so technically these 2 together are 10,400 damage, so you can OTK through a lot of stuff. And it's even if you didn't normal summon to make these, you can pop your scales to get an extra normal summon to finish off a little bit of damage per game. Then Volcasaurus with Gaia, just for the simple clear monster damage play. Like, you can really capitalize on this, just like with this. You just OTK like 1 monster fields. Then M7 lets you recycle any XYZ you've played. And it's really important because you can, like, I used this against BA with Dweller to clear 2 Dantes.
Oh, pretty.
And when the opponent couldn't resolve anything, they were left with 1 card in hand in their draw. They just lost off of it. But its ability to recycle stuff is more broken. Like, you can throw out like a Dweller against a deck, and then they'll overcommit, thinking you can't Dweller them again. Then you can bounce back the Dweller and then clear their board, and it forces your opponent to misplay. Then there's Zenmao. This card is one of my favorite plays because a lot of decks like to set a lot of backfield and like to bluff you out right now because almost no one's playing MST. But what you can do is you can pop one of your 2 level 5s with any other scale and have them in your extra deck. You can then normal summon Hamster, tribute it to special either one of the 2, whichever one, 2 more from your deck with the same name. And so before you even pendulum, and go into Zenmao, and you can force them to activate their backfield, or if they're bluffing, just destroy them and gain advantage. So it's a free advantage. And then finally, Dvorak. This card is insane. You mill when you can detach. It needs 3 level 5s, and you detach a material to mill the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck. And you destroy a card your opponent controls up to a number of monsters, and it doesn't target.
Oh, that makes it so much better. Because did you get anyone's Dark Destroyer with it?
Yeah. My opponent scooped before I could do it, but
it has good attack too.
Yeah. Like my opponent scooped before I could do it, but they had a Dark Destroyer out on board, and I had a throw set, so I actually brought this out and had 2 normal monsters. I activated the effect and I was gonna chain throws, and then I was just gonna make sure that they couldn't summon any other monsters, and I was just gonna win off of that attack, and then they just scoop. But yeah, like all these cards are one-ofs.
Do you think you would change anything in the deck, or do you like the way it is?
No, for this event specifically, this deck is like tethered to be the best. I'm not running Raigeki main deck because there's too many decks it doesn't do anything to, and probably the only change would probably be I'd try and fit a 3rd hamster because this card is just insane.
Oh, okay. What would you suggest to cut for the 3rd hamster if you were to cut anything?
Well, the list is coming out, so I'm losing 2 Rotas. So I'm probably gonna put in another hamster and probably a field card instead of the 2 Rotas.
Nice. So you didn't like that new quick play at all? Like, did you try it at all?
Yeah, I tested the quick play. It's just not good.
Library,
it's not good because it doesn't let you draw by any other card effects afterwards. So if you draw Royal Magical Library, you can't really continue your turn.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's understandable.
Or you can continue your turn, but then the library is just a wasted slot that could have been a pendulum monster at that point.
Awesome. Well, thanks for the profile. Do you have a YouTube channel yourself, or?
No, just my sponsor, Sunvalleygaming.
Okay.
You guys can look them up. That's it.
Awesome. Well, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it. Good luck with the deck in the future. I'm sure it'll be a lot better once, they are getting more support in the future, so we'll see what they have in store for Igknights. But thanks for watching, guys. I'm signing out.